I feel like I have to preface this. So, here's the thing about gaming reviews. Everybody has their own perspective, right? Every single YouTuber and article you read out there has a different combination of things that they like and dislike in games. These form what I guess they call in the world of touching grass opinions. And sometimes these opinions are going to disagree with one another. And most of the time, that's okay. I've seen a lot of angry gamers out there, especially on the dumpster heap called Twitter, trying to dunk on each other just because they've got a different opinion of the game. Pretty silly if you ask me, and people could use a bit more lighthearted spirit when it comes to gaming. But I bring this up because I'm about to give you my personal view of the Modern Warfare 2 beta. If you've watched this channel for a while, you'll know that I tend to enjoy the more hardcore and realistic elements of shooters, and so that's where this perspective is coming from. When I look at a game to review it, that's a lens that I use to evaluate whether it's a good game, whether it's enjoyable or not. There are obviously some objective things that one can touch on, but for the most part, nobody's going to be able to completely take bias out of their perspective. That's what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the question, is Modern Warfare 2 any good? And with all that said, the answer is yes. Modern Warfare 2 is awesome. I have absolutely loved what they've done with the game, and I've enjoyed my time playing so far. It's no longer this jump, slide, turn, slide again, slide, bunny hop, slide canceled, 360 no scope. You no longer have to do that to be good at the game. That may be effective for some, but that is 100% not my skill set. Instead, what they've done is slowed the game down a little bit. And I'm really hoping this gameplay flow remains the same upon release and they don't have to change everything after the beta, because I'm having a really fun time. The new meta to being effective in this game relies on keeping your gun forward, thinking about what your enemy might do, run to a corner, prepare for what's on the other side of the corner, and taking things slower, listening, using your senses, eyes, ears, using your patience, not rushing to act too quickly with your movements. The key is never be caught with your gun up and your pants down. This is what I enjoy playing. That's why I enjoy games like Insurgency Sandstorm, Ready or Not. It's those slower movements, it's the slower pacing, things calm down a little bit, and really just time for me to think. The game slowed down by a couple different factors. First of all, the time to kill. Now, from what I can feel, it's not exactly a huge difference from, let's say, Modern Warfare 2019, but I do feel it can be a bit inconsistent. It does feel a little bit quicker when you're landing your shots, but sometimes it feels like I'm pelting others with BBs. Though I will say right now there are some pretty powerful weapons. The F-Tac right now on semi-auto is somewhere around 2 to 3 rounds for a kill, and that's pretty wild, but it's also a very effective way to slow things down a bit. If you're rocking semi-auto, you've really got to land your shots and choose your shots wisely. And the other guy knows that it's not going to take long before he's dead. Another factor here is the inertia mechanic they've implemented. Slide canceling, at least by default, is not a thing. They've also added dolphin diving again. So those things can certainly get you out of a sticky situation or get you to a better position or against a corner a little bit better. That's primarily what I use the slides for. Slide into it and prepare myself to look around it, whether that's mounting or slowly moving. But either way, you're not going to be able to cancel mid-slide and spam it around the map for faster and spazzed out movements. In general, I think this is a very good call because, again, it slows down the gameplay, and you as a player now know that every move could be dangerous. I think one of the things when it came to slide canceling in the other game is that because I knew it was there, I just automatically pressed the button. It's not that it was effective for me, it's just what I knew was there, so my mind was like, hey, you should do this. So maybe in general, the game hasn't slowed down that much, it's just slowed me down a little bit. They've also taken away the red dots on the minimap, and this is kind of a big thing in the community. A lot of people are angry about this, but to me, this is a very good thing as well. I can keep my eyes focused on the screen, and I'm not constantly watching the map, unless of course there's a UAV present. And in my opinion, that's sort of how things should be. Instead of having a map to look at, you see red highlights on your compass when a gamer is shooting unsuppressed, and I like this change. I know they tried it initially in Modern Warfare 2019 and that caused a big stir, and so they decided to change that. So we'll see how this goes upon release. We'll see what they decide, but it seems like they're planning on keeping this in the full release. We'll have to see though. The recoil seems to have been beefed up a little bit for weapons and it's sort of all over the place, but to me, that's awesome. What's nice about the recoil system as well is with the lower TTK, I think recoil should be a little bit more drastic. I think it should be harder to hit your enemies and choose your shots wisely and also promote some more semi-auto usage, like again, the F-Tac. This is going to slow things down a bit. This is going to make people ADS while moving. I think the two combined, the lower TTK and the wild recoil, does a really good job at slowing the game down, and again, I enjoy it. The graphics and animation look great. They always do in Modern Warfare. They look even better than Modern Warfare 2019, and overall, the game runs really well. I've got a Ryzen 5700X and a GTX 1070 Ti. Definitely need to upgrade that soon. And I certainly can't run on extreme graphics, but I am able to have quality mostly on high and have a great visual experience. I've really enjoyed the map flow and the sounds, especially the footsteps. They did an excellent job at directional audio. You can really track movements well with this, and I think that's important, especially with immersive gameplay. And the weapon customization, again, is top notch. I love how much you can customize in this. It's like Modern Warfare 2019, but a little bit better, I think, in my opinion. The unlock system is nice because you don't have to unlock everything for every single gun. Normally, when you unlock one weapon, you're going to have some sort of optic. That's a nice thing to have. A couple negative things here. The AI. The AI are, well, they're pretty stupid. It leads to some boring gameplay. And my least favorite game mode is Invasion. I think it's super boring. I think Ground War by itself without the AI could be a little bit more enjoyable, but the AI doesn't really add a whole lot to the game. And I'm wondering how they're going to implement this AI into something like Warzone or DMZ. They may become more of a nuisance than anything, and then to combat this, Infinity Ward might try to put more AI there to make it more difficult, but that doesn't really make it any more difficult other than the numbers. They're not any smarter. They're still just a larger number of nuisances. So we'll see how they handle that. One of the things that I've heard a lot about is the ADS visibility. For me, it was difficult at first, but after a little time playing, I feel like it's gotten much better. I don't know if they've tweaked anything or changed anything. Maybe I've adapted a little bit, but I haven't had a whole lot of issues when it comes to visibility when aiming down sights anyway. It's even gotten to the point where I feel comfortable using iron sights here. It doesn't hinder my performance too much, I don't think, so I really don't have a lot of complaints there. Visually, one thing I don't understand is why there has to be haze over everything. I feel like with this and Modern Warfare 2019, there's this white haze across the screen. And if I turn the brightness down a bit, it does get better, but then visibility and the quality of the image gets a little bit worse. It's not horrible and it's workable, but it washes out a lot of the colors. And me personally, I prefer a lot more vibrance in my games. There were also some bugs and crashes and weird animations that would happen, especially when I'm, let's say, reviving someone. But those are the kinds of things that I expect to be fixed upon release. Hopefully, anyway. Modern Warfare 2019 turned into a complete cluster after a while, and I couldn't play too long without crashing, so we'll have to see with this one. Since there won't be something like Vanguard and Black Ops added to this specific engine, I doubt that's going to be as big of a problem, but we'll just have to see. Overall, I know the typical COD players haven't enjoyed this game, but personally, I have. I keep hearing this thing that they're catering to casuals and making the game for people who are bad at the game. Well, gamers, maybe you are now bad at the game. Ever thought of that? No, in all seriousness though, it's more my style. I'm looking forward to this, especially in the DMZ mode. I'm hoping to get a lot of content out of that and some entertaining things, and hopefully I can get some good gameplay every now and then. I know skill-based matchmaking is going to make that difficult, so I hope I get some good gameplay early on, but we'll see how all that goes. The TLDR here, guys. This is the most fun I've had playing COD in years, and I've enjoyed this game more than Modern Warfare 2019. I'm very happy with the direction they've taken, and we'll see what happens and what changes before the release. Hopefully not a whole lot, but again, that's just my opinion from my perspective. So if you like tactical games, you may really enjoy this one, at least for a while until everyone figures out the maps and you're pretty much toast if you don't play this for 6 hours a day. What do you think though, gamers? Have you enjoyed this beta? I know the open beta starts today, so hopefully you guys are playing that. Tell me your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. Subscribe for more, and until the next one, be bold, be courageous, stay tactical.